It is my pleasure to bring on to the program Yanyn San Luis with Florida International University's College of Business. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Pete. How are you?
We are doing fantastic and extremely happy that you can join us here this morning to talk about a very, very exciting event coming up. My understanding it's the first time it's going to happen. And again, it's just one of the wonderful things that FIU College of Business is doing to promote the growth of business, especially the explosion of women-owned businesses in the U.S. If you don't mind, Yanyn, I'm going to share with the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into the conversation about the event and as to why it was put together and what you hope will be the takeaways for the attendees. Yanyn San Luis is an Assistant Director of Alumni Relations at, like I said, FIU's College of Business. She manages the Business Alumni Chapter, Marketing Alumni Affinity Council, Real Estate Alumni Affinity Council, and of course, launched the Women's Alumni Council at FIU. Combined, they serve 49,000 College of Business alumni. That's, yes, 49,000. Yanyn specializes in creative, innovative programs and incorporating fundraising techniques to achieve strategic metrics. And San Luis also manages the College of Business Mentor Program. They've got you just a little bit busy, huh?
They do. They certainly do. There's a lot of things going on, lots of ways to get involved, and we're certainly excited to get involved with this Power Up Summit that was created out of that Women's Alumni Council.
Well, let's get into that a little bit. First of all, tell me about the Women's Alumni Council, because that sounds like a pretty important part of the College of Business.
Absolutely. So what ended up happening was that last year around March, with Women's History Month and everything else, we had a group of phenomenal women who came together, and they came to meet with us and shared that we had a gap, a gap for women to come together personally and professionally while supporting the college, the community, and each other. And there wasn't a cohesive group for them to come together and do these activities of service, education, and progress. So what ended up happening was we launched the Women's Alumni Council that's open to both FIU alumni and the Miami community. And since then, we've had about 12 programs that have come out of that council. One-on-one sessions where we do at-home sessions to do professional development, your professional appearance, to now what is the signature event of that Women's Alumni Council, the Power Up Leadership Summit. So, one of the reasons this came about is right now, FIU is growing in enrollment, and 56% of the people who come to FIU are female students who are in need of mentors, who are in need of professional experience, and when they graduate, they want to have a network, to have a network of women professionals that they can go to who have been in their shoes and they can have support from. So this Women's Alumni Council, this is pretty much their essence and what they do and how this came about. So the Power Up Summit now, in the culmination of this first year of the Women's Alumni Council, really is a perfect mix of what you had mentioned before. We're bringing entrepreneurs together. We're bringing leadership topics together, and we're talking about financial wellness. And so those were really the pillars of what started the council and what was the thinking behind the Power Up Summit.
First of all, I love the name Power Up Summit. It's it just says everything. It's simple, but it's very, very powerful. And we have had a multitude of discussions on this show recently with the SBA, talking about some of the statistics regarding the growth of women-owned businesses around the country, and especially here in South Florida. And it's mind-boggling because it covers I don't know how many different industries and services. And it's got to be very encouraging, especially for new women entrepreneurs or women that are considering opening up their own business to see this movement happening here?
Absolutely. And something that we came together on in putting together the program. So, in regards to when we looked at this half-day summit, we wanted, Power Up, and the idea of Power Up with our phenomenal marketing team was to energize the community, not only our alums, but the community in engaging with us to Power Up. And in regards to entrepreneurship, we have Misha Gomez from Misha's Cupcakes and Pilar Guzman from Half Moon Empanadas, who will be sharing tomorrow in a workshop series, Be Your Own Boss, about their insights of being a female entrepreneur in the 21st century. Misha, who is one of our alums, immediately stepped up when we announced to her that we were doing this summit, and became a sponsor of the summit. In addition to Mass Mutual Miami, who also was very integral and an integral part of becoming one of these inaugural sponsors for the summit and supporting women entrepreneurs. And so with the feedback that we've gotten from our students is that they continue to want to explore innovation, they continue to want to explore entrepreneurship, and they want to find ways and a network to do that. And so this is definitely going to be an outlet for our students and really the South Florida community to come together and, and actually attend some of these sessions. So with that, we have the Be Your Own Boss session, like I mentioned, and we have 10 skills for getting the success you want with, award-winning author Susan Ford Collins, who is going to be there tomorrow. And then we end our visionary leadership panel tomorrow with some very big heavy hitters in the community. We have Terry Howard, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Technology Officer for the Miami Dolphins. We have the CEO of Baptist Outpatient Services, Patricia Rosello, Christina Cayo Aquino, who is the CFO of Fleet Management Solutions at Ryder Systems. And we have Lillian Peters, the Senior Director of BNY Mellon. So we have an incredible lineup, Pete, for the attendees, and we're looking forward to sharing this wealth of knowledge and powering up for the weekend and beyond.
Now, if you could just close your eyes for a second, Yanyn, and think about the end of the summit. What do you hope that the women that attend will walk away with? What do you believe could be some of the takeaways that they then move on and take back to their businesses, to their careers? What are some of those takeaways that you have in mind, or what you would like to see?
Absolutely. And, one of the things that we did that were really different from some of the other conferences that you attend, we wanted this conference to be very interactive. And part of our program book, and, it's funny, you mentioned just closing my eyes and seeing what the takeaways are, but we are challenging the attendees who come to the conference to build their book of business, but also to make at least 3 connections. So their challenge for the entire day, which will be set in the morning, is you need to make 3 connections that will take you to your next step. We're asking them to write down and to brainstorm. We're giving them time to brainstorm the ideas that they want to start working on and some goals that they can start working on right after the conference. And so, my biggest takeaway, I think, for these attendees to have is, one, to feel empowered, to know that there's a network of women that supports them and that they can come back to again and again. But 2, to really walk out with those, 1 to 3 contacts that will elevate them in whatever professional aspect that they want to have. So those really are the goals that we have in mind for these women to walk out of.
I absolutely love them because, as you know, Miami's an events town, and there are events happening all the time, covering everything you can imagine. Obviously, so many of them are business events. And what happens so many times, Yanyn, and I think you would agree with this, is that we walk away from an event and we don't really know what the next steps are or what we should do with the information that we learned at that workshop or that forum.
Exactly.
I congratulate you and the team to put this together, because these are specifics that these challenges are specific, and it isn't a mystery of what they all need to do tomorrow. It's a call to action, and as you know, anything that we want done or we want the results that we're looking for is all based on the action steps that we take.
Exactly.
So you're giving a specific 3 connections. It's not like saying connect with everybody, make sure you call as many people as possible. You're giving something clear cut and specific. And I think that right off the bat, that's going to allow this type of event to have a second year, and it's going to be something that could be sustainable through the years because of what you're doing here.
Exactly. And that's something, we have to share with you some of the stats and definitely some of our attendees. We have over 155 individuals who will be there tomorrow. We still have space, so if anybody is interested, they can visit the powerup.fiu.edu website and register. Tickets are $75 to attend, and includes breakfast and lunch and then a dynamic program that we have. But, to your point, it needs to be tangible goals that come out of this. And one of the things that our council, our Women's Alumni Council, is really striving for is the follow-up process of this. So we don't want them to come back, energized, and then the week later just falls through.
Yeah, it fizzles out.
We're going to be calling the absolutely exactly fizzles out. What we're going to do next week is make sure that we're calling those that attended and asking them for their feedback, but also asking them what they plan to do with that information. And so we want to keep the momentum going, and some of the dynamic programming that this council has will continue to invite those attendees to be part of and take part of.
Again, I'm impressed, and I'm impressed because of the clear-cut objectives of this event, the call to action for the attendees, and your own call to action of what you plan to do in the follow-up.
Oh, absolutely.
So, when you look around, these are the things that provide at the end of the day, that consistency, that impact that can make changes in the market. And here, focusing on women leaders, and whether it's financial, real estate, entrepreneurship, it's everybody is sharing in the workload, the attendees, and of course yourselves. So I think that this kind of an event and the feedback that you're going to get, because it's going to be fresh in their mind, the way that you're going to handle it, I think it's going to bring a tremendous amount of value to the attendees and also to you and your colleagues that have put this event together, and then it will allow you to continue to do what you did well and then enhance that moving forward. Correct,
exactly. And so we're excited. Our team is diligently working to set this up, and we're excited to have the women, our attendees, but also to invite those in the South Florida community to come out and power up and be empowered to do great things, whether it's professional, whether it's personal. We want to make sure that the South Florida community has an outlet of women that they can come to and they can confide in and they can rely on through FIU Business.
Before we wrap it up, Yanyn, I just want to ask you one final question. Why do you believe that now is the right time to do this?
Absolutely. I think it goes back to what I had mentioned in regards to our ever-growing enrollment. And our enrollment is increasing within FIU in our community, but more and more you're seeing this rise of women leaders. within the business community, but inclusive of educationally. So like I mentioned, 56% of females right now at FIU, that's our enrollment. 56% of our students are female students. And so it's opportune that this is coming up now, because now it's inspiring to the young students that are coming up through school, that they can see alumni, they can see women in the community, and they can see how far they can go in non-traditional fields like technology and logistics, but also in financial fields. And so that's one of our objectives, is to provide that outlet to our students, to make sure that they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. They can see the career path that it can take them. So, it's coming up now because, women are rocking and rolling, Pete. And they're
telling
doing
me
great things. They're rocking and rolling, and they are doing great things in the community. And it's really about time. It's about time that something like this comes up for young women, but also that it comes up for female entrepreneurs and people who are thinking of doing great things. So we need to continue to build that support network for them, and this is just an outlet to do it. We're just happy to be part of that, that piece of the puzzle.
People that are thinking of doing great things. I absolutely love that, and it's going to go hand in hand with some information I'm going to share on a great, lovely book that I just, it's one of my favorite books of all time, called The Magic of Thinking Big. So it goes right in hand with all of that. Now, one more time, for the benefit of the women that are tuning in right now and then during our replays throughout the day, very slowly, how can they go and register?
Sure, absolutely. So, ladies, what we'd love to have you and host you tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Jungle Island. You can actually come on in. We'll register you the day of, so you don't need to register online. But if you do want to register online and check out that program, you'll want to visit powerupsummit.fiu.edu. Once again, that's powerupsummit.fiu.edu, and the tickets are still available. We have a few seats left, and it's at $75 from 8 to 2 p.m. at Jungle Island.
Well, Yanyn, thank you so much for taking time in your morning. I'm sure you're scrambling at the last minute, still putting some details together, and the fact that you can take a little bit of that time and be with us today, I think it's very important. And I congratulate you and all of your colleagues at FIU College of Business for putting this event together. And I can't wait to hear the results. So hopefully, if not next week, soon after, we can bring you back and you can share with us how powerful that event actually went.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time, Pete, and thank you for everything you do for us. And we look forward to sharing with you that recap and all the great outcomes that came out of it.
Yanyn, thank you so much. Have a great one and good luck.
Bye. Thank you so much, Pete.
Take care. Bye-bye.